Welcome back to Caps and Cocktails with Tea. And since it's Shark Week, today's episode is going to be inspired by, of course, one of the greatest thrillers, one of the greatest movies, that is, and that's Jaws. More specifically, it's going to be about Captain Quint, which was one of the characters in the movie. So I'll also be mixing up a fishbowl cocktail that's kind of right on point for Shark Week this week for the celebration. So let's dive into it. So this week, I'm showing another Boston Scally cap. This cap came out a couple weeks ago, and it was actually a collaboration between Boston Scally and Jaws. So you can kind of see on the tag the collaboration, and even on the inside of the cap, you also see there's Jaws and Boston Scally. And it's another flat cap. The top part of it's more like a cotton twill fabric. It's really soft. And this is the first time that Boston Scally actually did put pockets in it. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, I mean, they're usable pockets. So you can put, whatever you want in there. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool concept. At first I was like, oh, that's going to take away from the cap. But when you have it on, you really actually can't tell. And then the sides of the cap have a denim material on each side. Then this material here is almost like what you would think Captain Quint, what his jacket would be like. And then you also do have the fisherman's rope around the front panel, which I thought is kind of cool. It's the first time that Boston Scally has done anything like that as well. The sides have like little breathe holes on both sides. So that's pretty unique also to this cap. And then the back of the cap, well, let me take this tag off. The back of the cap actually has the name of the boat that Captain Quint was the captain of, and that's the Orca. The inside lining is nice because it's a little bit lighter material. It actually is like a fisherman's net material, and it does have then Quint's name badge on the inside as well. So overall, I mean, I was immediately drawn to it. I think the colors are pretty nice, and I think this, unlike some other Boston Scally caps where they do collaborations and they're sometimes a little bit gimmicky, which is cool. I mean, they're very creative in their concepts, and like for instance, they had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cap, which the top of the cap looked like a turtle shell, and I'm thinking, man, that's pretty cool, but I don't think that I would wear that at all. It'd be nice for a collection if you're really being able to collect, every single cap, but I didn't pick it up. So yeah, so really thrilled about this cap. I think I'll get a lot of use out of it. Let's put it on. So give it a little bend. But see, I really like this cap a lot. I think I'll wear it quite a bit. And living up here at the lake, it's a lot of things nautical. So I'll spin around here so you can see the whole cap. Yeah, and then of course, as Boston Scally does, they come up with pin sets to match the caps. So they did do a pin set. You buy it separately, and there was 4 pins to this one. And I thought the pin set was pretty nice this time around. It's almost like a metal. You have the Amity Island, and you have the let's see this a little bit better. Then you have the shark tooth one, and then you have the Orca, and then you have a harpoon down here. So it's a nice little cap collection to go with the actual cap. I've seen a lot of people, they'll put the pins on. I've seen some people put the shark teeth here on the very front of the cap. I've seen other people put some pins on the sides. I may use I really do like the shark mouth one, and I do like the Orca one, so I might put one on there once in a while, who knows. But that was the pen set that came with the cap. And then, as Boston Scally usually does, especially when they come out with a new cap for the first time, or if they do a collab, then they come out with a dust bag. So this was super cool, I thought. I mean, this is, Captain Quint's attire, what his outfit was during the movie, and then here's the back of it. And these are nice to keep your caps in, to keep them, dust bags. And of course, you get the drawstring there. So I think this collab was pretty cool. They did have another collab about a year or two ago. There was the first Jaws cap, and it was just a white and blue cap, and it was more themed to Jaws himself. I think even the liner had Jaws, but I didn't pick that one up at the time. But I'm glad I picked this one up because it's, like I said, it's a nice fitting, feeling cap. Fits me right on. So yeah. So before I get to the fishbowl, though, there was beer that, you know, Captain Quint, you know, drank throughout the whole movie, and I had never heard of this beer, but yeah, here it is. We're gonna try it before I make the fishbowl drink. I guess the way to pronounce it is Narragansett. And in the movie, of course, he wasn't drinking the tall boys. They were smaller cans, but the only thing they had at the local market in this beer was the tall boys. So. And it's funny, I think it's about 5%. On the back of it, it says, hi neighbor, have a Gansett. You know, I have to assume that's probably part of when they had their commercials, that was part of the commercial because it's a little different. But yeah, hey neighbor, let's have a Gansett. So yeah, let's have it, let's try it. And I guess I've tried different kinds of beers. I'm not quite sure what this one is gonna taste like. I don't know, we'll see. So let's crack her open. And because it is, of course, a tall boy, we're gonna need a bigger glass. So here we go. Let's give it a pour. See if I can pour this without being too obnoxiously. Oh, I had it in the freezer. Oh, let's do this. I had it in the freezer to get cold because I bought it and it was warm, so I gotta squeeze the can a little bit. But, you know, crush it like Quint, as they say, right? All right, well, that wasn't the best pour considering I had some ice in the can. But, you know, I'm not editing this. It's so bloopers or no, I guess that you consider that a blooper. So I don't know. I mean, it smells like beer. You know, there's not any kind of aroma to it that I can tell. You know, it kind of smells like, well, you know, maybe a PBR or some of the kind of lower end beers, PBR, Coors maybe. But I mean, it's bubbling up nice. You know, I'm sure it can't be horrible. It is beer, so we'll try it. Well, it's not horrible. I mean, it's not horrible. Would I buy it again? Probably not. But you know, it's not bad. After you have one, I guess they go down easier. So this could be something like, you know, the old Natty Lights. You could drink about 20 of them and it'd be all right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's not bad. The second swig I had, I could taste a little bit of malt in it, and actually at the very end, it is a little bit hopsy, which is kind of surprising, but you know, not horrible. Okay, so that's that beer. So yeah, so now let's make a cocktail. You know, let's make a fishbowl. Okay, so, you know, when you're doing a fishbowl, we're gonna need a bigger bowl. All right, so let's start it off. So the ingredients to the fishbowl, and I'm just gonna call it a shark bite. I mean, there's a lot of variations of shark bites. Most of the time you see the blue carousel in it because you need the blue color when you're doing these kind. But yeah, so the ingredients, you're gonna need pineapple juice. Well, actually, let me get my ice going here. Let me get my ice first. This is the size, like if we go somewhere, and actually we got these fish bowls from the fishbowl. Turn around. the fishbowl we were at Put in Bay, and the little guy that I had was usually the size that I will get. And then I turn around and, you know, and then my wife's ordering one, and well, she gets this size of drink. So, I mean, she doesn't drink all that often, but when she does, she means business, so to speak. So, all right, so I got about half it filled with ice, and, you know, the garnishes, of course, I love the garnishes. So, you know, we've got some little fish here. So, or not fish, sharks. We've got some little sharks here. So let's kind of load it up with some sharks in there about halfway through our ice. Okay. All right, we've got some sharks in there. So I'm going to fill the rest up. Fill it up to the top. Okay. So we got our fishbowl ready to rock and roll. I'm going to go ahead and make the drink inside here so you can see the ingredients that it does use. And then I did make a extra batch of it. An extra batch so because it is a bigger fishbowl. If I was having a bunch of people over, I would probably just have a big container of it made up so that people could, you know, pour what they wanted to have there. So, all right. So, first ingredient is pineapple juice. All right. So the ingredient for this, if you're just making like, you know, maybe 1 cup of it, I did like I think triple a couple over here, but. So it's 3 ounces of pineapple juice, which I already pre-poured in this. Is a little easier to pour. Okay, so you got your 3 ounces of pineapple juice. All right, and then Malibu, and it calls for 2 ounces of coconut rum. I'm using Malibu for this one, and of course it's a 2-ounce pour. So there's your 2 ounces of Malibu. Then you have Tito's. Tito's vodka, so that's going to be the next ingredient. And it's only 1 ounce of that, so maybe how about half of this? Or a little bit more than half. Then sweet and sour. And sweet and sour mix, I don't use it a whole lot. Sometimes I'll use Sprite instead, but for this purpose, I'm going to be shaking it. I am going to use a sweet and sour. It doesn't call for a lot of that. I mean, it's about a 1 ounce of sweet and sour, so about half of this. 1 ounce of sweet and sour. And then of course, you know, to get the blue color that you need, if you put not enough of the blue and too much of the sweet and sour stuff, it'll be got a greenish color. So it does call for 1 ounce of the blue carousel, but I'd like to be a little bit bluer for this purpose, so I'm going to put 2 ounces of that in there. Okay, and it's going to be a sweet drink, you know, for sure. All right, so that's the ingredients for the drink. So I'm just going to bring my fishbowl back around. Give this a good shake. And I can just pour it in there, the ingredients. I just like things shaken up a little bit. A little frothier, so I'll pour that in there. It did come out a pretty nice blue color, so I think we were right on adding a little bit extra of the blue carousel. Okay, and I knew it was a bigger bowl, so I went ahead and made a little bit of extra here. So I'm just going to pour some of what I made before I started the video in there. Okay, so we got that all together. And then of course we're going to do some garnishes. So with this drink, I'm going to use for my garnishes a couple oranges. Okay, a couple pineapples. And I did already kind of pre-cut these a little bit. All right, we got a few sharks left, so we're gonna drop those in. And, you know, of course, being a little bit extra, so I do have some Swedish fish. I'm gonna drop some of those in there. Oops. And, you know, throw a couple lifesavers in there, you know, life preservers rather, so in case somebody can have a chance. So that's that. And let's give it a little Let's give a little umbrella also. That'd be cute in there. And a straw. You gotta have that, finish that with a straw. Okay. So that's the shark bite, at least, you know, at least my version of it. You know, I love making drinks in my bar, and so I also think that it needs a little bit extra because it is a shark bite. I'm gonna taste it, see how it tastes so far. Ooh, that's good. But it is a shark bite, so you know sharks can give extra bites. So let's just give it a little bit extra. A little bit extra. I think we've got a little bit of room to fit more in there. So here's a little shark, and you know, again, these are open, and we got these when we were over at the at Put in Bay, same place we got these shark bowls at, or fish bowls rather. That's the name of the bar, the fish bowl. So I think it deserves a little bit extra bite to it, but that's just me. So I'm gonna put a little shooter, a little floater, if you will, of the pineapple, 99 pineapples. I use 99 something or other sometimes to give a drink a little bit extra kick to it, because you know you've got all kinds of different 99s, 99 bananas, 99 peaches, raspberry. But yeah, they're pretty tight because again they are 99 proof, so it's a pretty tight drink. If I can get the lid off. All right, so I'm gonna load it up in his mouth here. Give him a little taste of 99. Oop. All right, I didn't know it was gonna go over. Yeah. Well, you know, let's just do that. All right, so to give it a little bit more wow factor, I'm gonna put some grenadine inside of the shark's mouth as well, so that when you put the shark into the fish bowl, I hope I don't make a mess. Oh, that's good, okay. So there we are, we got a little bit extra 99 in there and some grenadine, so dump it in. There's your extra little, man, I put too many garnishes in it, but that's all right. So there's your fish bowl. And so then it kind of, putting the grenadine in there, kind of looks like blood. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me. And here's to great caps, great cocktails, and even better stories. Cheers.